Benedek?
Yeah, I wrote you on Skype about my PR for 110x, which I think is release ready. And after that, yeah, I can hear Sebastian.
Yeah, you can.
And
Because I'm at, yeah. One,
no,
two.
I mean Sika or something on the chat. So yeah, after that we need another PR for the dev branch with some similar changes, but that should be a lot quicker and easier, and there's not many changes to make there after 110x. So basically the idea here is that dynamic compilation will be supported for C#6, and we kind of drop view compilation, which I think is less important. It's still very useful, I think, and it should be supported, but I think dynamic compilation is more important.
Okay. View compilation never worked, so, or was super hard to make work.
Well, and it worked for a month, and it was working perfectly. But as soon as the Microsoft guys accept my PR for the code DOM provider, and then we can make it work again, and both of them together, and it will be beautiful.
So you can merge it.
Okay.
You can merge it.
Did you have a chance to test, maybe?
No.
Yeah, I did test it. I just wanted some, second opinion or another
tag it for need review and ask someone to try it. I'm sure some people will be interested. You can ask Matteo, for instance. He's the most active right now. If he wants to try it, maybe they care about it too. So just ask him. On Gitter, everyone's on Gitter.
Okay.
And merge it. Okay. And these ones will review on Thursday, because this is when we review the PRs and merge them. Matteo, Shannon, myself, and a PR that I had closed, and apparently Nick said we need it, so I can't find why I closed it. He thinks that it was just a mistake because I closed one in the same minute, another one maybe wrong closed one, and these ones from Laser Hermes. Yep. Okay. And then like you said, you want to release.
Well, I think there was discussion about making a new release for 1.10.3 and 1.11,
yep.
And this was kind of blocking both. So yeah, if we can merge 1.10x and then make the changes in dev as well, I think both releases are good to go. It would be nice to have one.
You should start a discussion on Gitter and also include Matteo and Hermes, because they have pending things. Maybe they want to ship also in 1.10.3, and they are the most active right now in the project. Okay. At least for 1.10.3, and dev is, I assume, whenever we want, whenever you made the changes also on dev branch. And that's it. OrchardCore. So 8 days, Nick Gentiri working on. So this is Chris. This must have been merged or not. Add OrchardCore property for Razor pages to enable extensions. So last week we talked about it, and Chris implemented it. So there are some extension methods. Now there is one called asset_url, which will resolve the iMedia file store and convert local URL like /myimages/myimage.jpg to a public URL. You could do that from Liquid, and now you can do that from Razor using this helper. So we created a new helper called OrchardCore. So from a view, you can do OrchardCore dot, and then all these helpers will be added automatically when you reference the module, like OrchardCore dot asset_url, OrchardCore dot what did we talk about? OrchardCore dot many things that will be available as extension methods, which will help us, which will prevent us from injecting services and calling specific services that you have to know. It's easier to document and to call. So that will be the way to do things. And our PR so that I think one was merged. I don't remember. Nick from GraphQL. Nick on GraphQL. Jean-Thierry, this one is on still the, what's the name of this thing? What's the branch name? Embedded. Embedded files in assemblies. I'll make you a demo when it's merged. I should probably merge it now. We'll see on Thursday. Chris, OrchardCore property for other pages to enable extensions. So that was merged. Okay. Oh yeah, he added some documentation and now it's merged. Okay, so you can see image OrchardCore.asset URL and then the field you have containing an image or an asset. Chantier same branch. Antoine fixed an issue with the documentation, but I assume now there is a new one or more of them. We'll see. Root profiles. Jean-Thierry improved the localization module, fixed some issues and improved stuff. Redocumented it based on the actual behavior and not what we had. I'm not sure. So he asked me and I said, instead of having a culture name folder like, so this is where it will look for culture files. For each module and theme, all files matching module location, okay, like the modules folder. Well, sorry. Each modules folder and not the modules folder / app data localization culture.po file. So there is an app data folder here in this case, just so that there is no conflict with a localization folder that could be in a module. Okay, because this will just contain static files with the name of the culture.po and not a culture folder / OrchardCore.po, because it will always be OrchardCore. So let's just use the culture name. I think that's easier. And this update, it's not. Thank you. It's not a dub root. At first, I think he used dub root because we don't want to serve these files. They should be just local files and they are not served statically. So this is a special folder, and it's hard-coded. It's not from, well, it's hard-coded. It has nothing to do with the app data folder for the rest of the files, okay? Because the app data folder for the rest of the files, like the static files, the tenants files, the indices, this folder can be configured per app, can be configured using an environment variable. It's very useful in Docker or when you want to use a shared drive for that. And so it can be anything. So this name here is currently the same one as the main one, but it's not the same thing. It's independent. So it's app data, and that will always be app data. It's a constant somewhere in the localization module. It will be, you can change it, but right now it's app data and nothing to do with the main one. So looking for each module, then looking in the main folder, and this one being the one that can be changed, that can be changed from the environment variable, / localization and / thing. And then for each tenant, in the app data folder, in the tenant folder, localization culture name. Okay, so each module can have localization file. Then you can define culture, translations for across all the modules, and then per tenant. So you could change the localization for a specific tenant. Yep. So that's good. It will be merged. Update PO file names. Yeah, that's it. So we have multiple branches for that. Oh no, he merged one into the other or something like that. Embedded, because he tried that, I'm sure, with this embedded branch. Fixed duplication. So he's also now working on handling the version numbers. looking into removing the number property because we have a content item version ID, so we might not need it. I haven't looked at these recent changes. We'll see on Thursday, but he's doing progress. We'll see how it goes. Work in progress. Sipke apparently is working again on workflows. Or at least he merged dev branch into workflows, which is the first step. Nick working on JSON API / GraphQL, refactoring how it's formatted. Interesting. Adding in this is Jean-Thierry again with the. This is an old PR that he revived. To have a setting to allow a content item to be versioned or not, meaning it will store the historical values or not store the historical values. This is an API, and this is, oh yes, so yeah, he did work on that. Interesting. Progress is being done. That's cool. How do you feel with that, Sipke? Is it hard with this
work?
work?
The workflows module, no, it's fun.
Issues? Are you blocked on some things, or?
No, I'm making good progress actually, and I took the same approach that you did with the deployments module. So instead of having a toolbox of activities, you now just have an add button, okay. And then it pops up the available activities. We need to revisit that later because there's tasks and there's events, and then maybe there's more categories that we want to order by, but I'll leave that for last. But so far it's going very well.
Good.
That tip with deleting the node modules folder, that was a crucial tip because it was very slow the building the solution as soon as I made a small change. That was it. Okay. After that it was just fast as it used to be, so that was very good. I still think the PR would be good to have, because now when I had to restore the node modules folder because of the client-side development of the scripts and all that, so I need gulp and all of those modules. But so far I didn't have the issue again, so it seems to be good now.
Okay, so if your environment is slow to build, look at your npm files, so node folder.
Yeah, so in the root there's a node_modules folder. I deleted its contents, and that helped a lot. Because
Visual Studio will try to include it in the solution, or at least track it. Even if it doesn't show up, it will look at it all the time if there are some changes, and lots of files make it slow. Was the idea. So last week I worked on OpenID, OrchardCore, because Kevin needed some help with YesSql, and I know YesSql, so I could do that. And this is which PR? This PR, so I updated with all the new packages, and there was a method missing. There is still a bug I need to fix. There is an issue with the generated SQL, but I have a good repro, so I will fix it. The other pull requests are Jean-Thierry preventing VS from updating package asset files in CS Proj, an easy one to merge. The Versionable option that he moved from an old PR. Razor helpers for queries from Chris. The version number from Jean-Thierry. This one will be merged also. The new module, HTTPS module, I think it's ready now. I'm not sure there is any more feedback I was waiting for. So an HTTPS module that will force HTTPS. Oh yeah, this one, the transfer. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the code can be much simpler. Yeah, almost ready, minus my last comment. So many small things will be merged, I assume, this week. So that will be good. Okay. Status done, OrchardCore done. Questions? Topics? Demos, comments, feedback? There was interesting feedback actually. Somebody. What?
We had some feedback.
We had some feedback.
Oh, no way.
This is Orchard here. OrchardCore. This one. Trouble understand admin section. So that's good feedback about missing documentation, don't know what to do next, how to manage content. Yeah, mostly because we don't have any documentation to explain how to build a website even on OrchardCore. SIP could try to help. But that's good to have feedback like this, to see where people are blocked when they don't have any knowledge about Orchard, because when we know what to look for, it's easier than when we don't. That's it. This one also feedback, someone tried to use the resources and there was an issue with documentation and some missing information. I wrote some bullet points, what was missing, document how to inject resources. Yes, there is no documentation about using the tag helpers to inject the resources. An example to register a script is wrong. It's not a string, it accepts an HTML content. So to fix small things, but blocking otherwise. And these ones, we talked about it already. Other topics, questions? Nick, no, I know you will ask the questions. I haven't worked on taxonomy yet.
What?
Oh, yeah, but almost the holidays. I hope that during the holidays I will have time.
So you're going to work on it over holidays. Cool.
Yes, and that's YesSql. I did some new features on YesSql, but nobody almost cares. Sergio maybe cares. You will see. So look at the latest PRs I made on YesSql. You can now do queries over other indices, so that's interesting. And that's about it.